It's three things in life that's certain. Death, taxes, and 85 gonna always be open.
Go my way, 'cause I'm gonna be open. I got you.
Hey, my name is Vince, and as you can see, this is my face. If you haven't followed my Twitter, then I suppose this is a face reveal. Of course, it's not a face reveal, really, if you follow my Twitter and, Anyway, another thing I would like to say is we just hit 2,000 views on my Bengals versus the AFC North video, and I just want to say, wow, it's just so crazy to me. The support you guys have given me for videos in this channel already is insane, and I can't thank you enough for it, seriously. But that's enough early hollering about the early success so far with my videos. Let's get into today's video. So we're going to be covering the first week of Bengals training camp, and what we fans should feel about the news that's come out so far. I'm talking injuries, interviews, signings, and more. Speaking of which, let's start with signings and what the Bengals have been doing to fill these roster spots and what to expect from them. Let's start with Reese Horn. Now, Reese Horn is a receiver that has played for the Dolphins, in the AAF, and in the XFL. I can't tell you a whole lot about this signing except that this is a depth move and simply nothing more. I've seen a few highlights and he can make some deep catches and some routine catches if need be. Not a bad signing, and I just can't be mad at it. However, I would like us to pursue someone like D.D. Westbrook, who could really help with these jet sweeps that the organization seems to like to run, as you can see with Alex Erickson, who we let go. And if you're looking for someone who you want to replace that production, if you want to even call it that, I would like to see the signing of Westbrook in the future. Another signing I would like to talk and discuss about is Gunnar Vogel. Now, Gunnar Vogel is an undrafted player who signed with the Chicago Bears after the draft conceded. He was later released by them for a reason I do not know for right now. For me personally, I think it was either OTAs and he didn't perform well, or it was just simply to make roster spots for another move. Either way, even though we aren't sure of his talent, making a signing like this is still incredible for us. It's a low risk, high reward signing, and what you'd look for in this move is just it's a simple depth piece. Possibly a project player moving forward, but we aren't sure what this move could lead to. Either way, we should be really happy that the organization is being aggressive in signing O-line talent. Speaking of which, another O-lineman you could look out for that they could sign is Austin Reeder. What I heard about him is that he worked out for us, he interviewed with us, and yet he left the building. Oh my god! It is unfortunate, however, he is now working out with Houston. That isn't a good sign exactly. But according to Zim Hude, follow him on Twitter and Instagram by the way, he has dealt with a knee injury and the Bengals are waiting for him to be cleared on that. However, we can't say that him going to Houston after leaving Cincinnati is a good sign really for us. We probably won't sign him, but there's still 2 spots left to fill. Hopefully we can make do with those 2 spots left. In other news, Mike Brown did an interview with the media and gave some really interesting answers I would like to talk about. One answer I'd like to point out that was really fantastic and made me so happy to see it was if Burrow's intensity reminded him of anyone in the past. He proceeded to go on and say,
"Yeah, Joe Burrow."
That right there is such a good answer. It is quite literally the best answer you could give there. But the main question and answer everyone should see is the one right here.
Why was the right time now for the Ring of Honor, Mike? It's been talked so much in this setting. Why was right now the right time?
Well, it is something that the fans want, the media wants, and most of all, in my looking at it, the old players want. And I've talked to some of them, and they're really thrilled with this. It pleases them no end to finally be honored in this way. It recognizes what they did. They aren't forgotten. And I like all of that more than I expected I would. Don't credit me. Again, you know who to credit. But we're making progress with it in the different areas, and maybe there'll be some other things we can get to as we go along. But I'm being dragged along finally, and that's a good thing.
That right there is huge. To me, this signifies how Mike Brown is no longer controlling or having his reins on the organization as much anymore. It wasn't like it was in the Palmer era, the Dalton era, or eras before that even. With him saying he's been dragged along and that it's a good thing, it really shows he's trying to do everything he can to win. It really shows his development as an owner to me, and I'm basically convinced that he's really trying to win now. However, in order to do that fully, this team is going to have to go out there and perform at the highest level they can. This is really good progress though, and it makes me excited for the way Brown handles things in the future, and I wonder what he'll do next. Now, the biggest news that has come out so far yet is probably Sam Hubbard getting his bag. Sam Hubbard just got an extension for $40 million over 4 years. Now, when I looked at this at first, I thought to myself, that's a lot of money. But the more I looked at it, I quickly realized how much he was actually making. It's simply just $10 million per year, and it's not like he's overpaid at like $15 or $20 million per year now. Personally for me, if I was going to extend Hubbard over Bates right now, I would like to extend him for 2 to 3 years on $8 to $9 million, just a little bit underneath what he's actually being paid right now. A lot of people say he's going to be a huge piece of the franchise moving forward, and I do understand why, and I hope that's the truth. But he's coming off a down year, hasn't gotten 10 plus sacks in the season yet, and we just drafted 3 other linemen plus signed one. Also, Khalid Kareem is on the come up, I believe, too. So with that in mind, I would have rather seen him play out this year and show that he's worth the money and then extend him. But I guess when looking at it, you should always have good run defenders in the AFC North. And extending Sam Hubbard definitely helps with that. He ranked at the top of edge defenders against the run last season. That's very impressive. Also, to add some extra information, there's also a report out that Sam Hubbard has been doing linebacker stuff. Now, this report isn't all entirely official, so please take this with a grain of salt. If this is true though, I'm going to be very interested to see if he can perform well at the position. If Sam Hubbard can play well in that role, this will not open up more weapons to be used in midfield, but also some more spots and snaps for the young linemen on this team as well to play. However, again, all of this is unconfirmed, so take it with a grain of salt again. Overall, I just hope Hubbard performs great this season and he makes this extension worthwhile. Now, you can't go over training camp news without bringing up Joe Burrow. So what's the deal with him right now? Well, let's start with how he's feeling. Last time the media talked to Joe Burrow, it was in June, and he said he was feeling around 85% right now on his ACL. But it is now with great honor and pride that I can announce Joe Burrow has said he feels 100% healthy going into training camp. Yup, he is at 100% and a go. However, with that whole rehab process in mind, he still says he wants to follow the process, and that means following the 9-month process that is in shape right here. So he will still be limited in certain aspects. However, with that though, he is now seen walking around without the brace, and it seems he's feeling a lot better still. This is another great break for the team and the organization moving forward. He also said he has deleted all social media apps in order to focus on football more and this training camp. And he also talked about what this team is expected to do this season, and that is go on a playoff run. And that right there is a leader, folks. I love the energy Joe Burrow has brought in attacking this offseason and this injury so far. If you want to see some more of my thoughts on how he's handled it, by the way, make sure you check out my last video, Joe Burrow versus Carson Palmer. I go in more in depth there. Lastly, I'll bring up one more thing Joe Burrow said while being interviewed. He said that going into this season, the team is in a win now mindset. Say the expectation now is to win games, make the playoffs, and go on a run. Now, I want to say this also makes me question Zach Taylor's job security and what the expectations are for him moving forward. Me personally, I'm only expecting realistically around 7 to 9 wins this season for this team, and I think that would be enough for Zach to keep his job and show that he's trending this team in the right direction. But with these comments, is there a real shot if Zach Taylor is fired if he doesn't make the playoffs this year? Zach Taylor haters, I would definitely keep an eye on that one if I were you. Now here, we will discuss the worst part of this video and the one that I dread. Injuries. Oh my god. To start off, let's get the minor discussions out of the way. Cameron Sample and Ogunjobi have been dealing with hamstring injuries. However, do not be worried about these guys. They are day-to-day and should not be concerned about, and they shouldn't miss any games. Thank God for that. Now we get to the This injury is older but should still be looked at the same as other injuries and should be monitored for the entire season. Hakeem Adeniji went down during OTAs and is out for the season. This one hurt a lot for me as I believe he was a very suitable lineman for us last year, and he showed a lot of promise and potential. It was very disappointing to me to know that he got injured, and I really feel like he could be a starting piece for this team in the future. With that being said, this injury is still very real, and it is a damn shame. The next injury we need to talk about is Wyatt Hubert. Wyatt Hubert went down with a torn pec this week. Of course it's a torn pec. It's every year. It's every goddamn Basically, this injury, along with Cameron Sample's injury, will impact the team in a way not many people will see right now, I think. So let's get this straight. Even though Sample's injury is day-to-day, cannot ignore that this still allows young defensive linemen on the team to show up and impress the coaching staff and make a spot on this roster. Khalid Kareem. Wyatt Hubert also affects us, but not in the same way Cameron Sample does. If you take a look at Hubert's Instagram bio, you can see he was going to be played as a linebacker on this team, outside linebacker specifically. With this, I believe the Bengals wanted to play him at the linebacker position to blitz. And just to throw this in here as well, it definitely makes me question if the Bengals are planning on running a blitz-focused defense this season. I definitely think it's a possibility and could be a way to help the pass rush going forward, especially with that signing of Mike Hilton. However, going back on Hubert, I am really sad about this injury and it really does suck, and I feel he could have been a great plug-in player this season. With this injury, it's very possible he could end up being cut, but I hope it doesn't come to that. But we have to do what we have to do and create the healthiest and best team possible to make sure we put the best product out on the field this season. Injuries have been the downfall for 6 years too long now, and it needs to change. If injuries bring this team down again, I honestly might give up, to be honest. But seriously, it's been too much of a factor. I'm just sick of it, and I hope it changes this year. Also, some extra news to throw on top. Cheetah's looking very good in practice. Jamar Chase's route running is crisp. Joe Burrow threw some deep balls today, which is Thursday today. Apparently he threw a dime to Jamar Chase, but Jamar Chase ended up dropping it. In another throw, he was arguably underthrowing it, and Cheeto broke it up. There's also some concern in other areas right now, but I feel like it's just the beginning of training camp, and this can easily be fixed. Anyway, that's the end of today's video. No, this won't be a weekly video, and I don't think I'll cover training camp again like this. Only make a video like this again if something important pops up and I need to make an emergency video. And yeah, you probably won't see this ugly ass face for a while. This video was actually hell to make. My phone was having a few issues. I think they're fixed now, and I might get a new phone this weekend, but I don't know if I will. If I do though, hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to make videos, and hopefully I can put out a better product for you guys. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I informed you guys on some stuff and you enjoyed the video today. Be sure to like and subscribe and tune in for more videos like this. I try to post every Saturday. If you want to see my unfiltered side, please check out my Twitter, link in the description or on the screen here. Again, thank you so much for the support on the other videos and on this channel as well as a whole. I hope you keep tuning in. I hope you keep watching, and I hope you keep loving this content. Anyway, be safe guys. Have a great day. Hoo day.